Hey folks, this is GWT, Wes Truther channel, Bradian.com, and YouTube. I wasn't sure if I was going to do any more videos or not. I've kind of lost my zeal for it or something because so few people are viewing the things that I'm putting out. The stuff that I say is, I think a few more people should be taking more interest and passing it and sharing it along with some other people, because I don't think the majority of people really have a good idea on what's happening, on what's going on. Just like I posted 11 parts. They were all within 15 minutes pretty much, and they weren't boring, and it was about the Illuminati, done by Myron C. Fagan from around 1962, and it was done on a 33 phonograph record, and I posted it on April the 20th, 2017, and got 1,783 views back then, and this time I posted it in 3 different places, and I don't even think it got more than 100 views. I put everything all over Facebook for as many people as can possibly see it. Very few share, very few comment. I told y'all that y'all should see that movie, The Book of Eli, and pay attention to that line when Gary Oldman says that the Bible is a very powerful weapon used to control the minds of the weak-minded and the desperate people. And this was after an apocalypse and stuff, and all the Bibles had been burned, and so that was a form of control over the people that no longer worked because they didn't have anything to go by. The ones that were left didn't have enough memory to do it. But anyway, it's a good movie. During long about that same time as the Kennedy assassination, there was a senator named John Tower. And John Tower once said that when you inform the public about a sensitive matter, then you are informing the potential enemies of the United States government. And try to understand, even the Congress that y'all think that you vote into office, they have been continuously voting for many years that the government has the right to keep secrets and to tell you lies for your own protection, for your own good, for your own security. Just lie to you for your own good. The Branton files, Branton files, it's about nuclear submarines lost. I've mentioned this in a number of videos before. John Lear, and then there was a guy named, I'll call him Mr. D, from the Pentagon that worked in records, and got information from him on radio, sharing some radio time or something. But under the North American continent is a number of nuclear submarine bases. Lake Tahoe is one that's also goes on down deeper in there for other things that live under the surface of the earth. Then St. Louis, Missouri, not far from me, Idaho, and under Walker Lake in Hawthorne, Nevada. That's where the USS Thrasher and the USS Scorpion, both those nuclear submarines, are in a water cavity, and all hands aboard, gone forever, down underneath of somewhere between Walker Lake in Hawthorne, Nevada, and the Monterey Bay, where the platelets, where the submarines can enter in between the Pacific and the North American plate and go on and follow a water line under the North American continent and go over to Hawthorne, Nevada, down under Walker Lake. But anyway, there was an Air Force general. And bear in mind, generals don't get to be generals unless they've killed a lot of people. But there was an Air Force general once, and his name was Bobby Bond. And he came across, he got nosy, rumors, and I got a cat that wants out, and it's going to drive me crazy if I don't let it out. And so Bobby Bond, he found out. You picked an annoying time there, boy. He found out that they were making these F-19 jets for Israel. And we're talking we're talking the latest in technology and advancements, firepower, and that kind of stuff. And they're being made for Israel, who is a world terrorist. And so they need to keep a mighty arsenal ahead of everybody in case someone wants to try to defend themselves against them. And they'll just annihilate them. No problemo. And like Obama said about the drones, you'll never see them coming. And just think of, that's terrible, isn't it, folks? I got some serious stuff to mention in this video. Wasn't sure if I was going to do any more because so few people are seeing the material and listening to them and what I'm saying. But anyway, Bobby Bond, he found out about these F-19s. He even barged into a hangar where they were working on one and had another one, I think, that was pretty much assembled. And so he was an Air Force general. And these planes were not being made for the Air Force. And so he pitched a fit. And he started talking about blabbing and telling all kinds of people. So the Navy, more or less, controlling everything, said that he could take one of them up, that they would give him some. They'd give the Air Force some. So that temporarily made him happy. They said, you could take one up and try it out. So he said, sure. So they put the general in one of these new F-19s, got him up in the air, froze the controls. He couldn't bail out, and the plane crashed and killed him. And they done it to keep that quiet. And then Admiral Bill Fallon, the Bushes forced him to retire, threatened him. He was supposed to have been a pretty good man from what I understand, and you don't get to be an admiral unless you've done some dastardly things for your government. And of course the media is telling everybody that they're all heroes, they're doing a great thing. The direct energy weapons that was used on June the 2nd, 2012 in Utah, and on June the 6th in Alpena, Michigan, where they killed somewhere between 380 and 500 people, according to a letter that was a note that was circulating around the Kremlin that somebody sent to me, and it wasn't BS. The story was posted by the European Union Times also. And but anyway, folks, some of the bodies of the people that they found, because their communications were cut down, the towns were kind of sealed off, the areas, because they killed people. And they had to come in and do excavating and fix roads and sidewalks and do all kinds of stuff. So now if you go there now, this was in 212, if you go there now, you won't even be, if you've never been there before, you'll never be able to tell anything happened. But trees were cut off 10, 12 feet above the ground, just cut right off. And then military jets, helicopters and stuff was everywhere. And then on top of that, bodies of some of the people believed to have come from there were found as far as 11 and 12 miles away, and many of them had their hands or their heads cut off. They were buried in shallow grass and mud graves. They tried to weight them down into creeks or rivers or anything they could find, but these people traveled on foot 11 or 12 miles and could not escape the people tying up the loose ends for these direct energy weapon hits. They don't want any witnesses, anybody that's going to talk, folks. Y'all need to understand that. And when I tell y'all, like I told you about this movie called Toxic Skies, that movie is on YouTube. And you can watch it right on YouTube. It's worth watching. Toxic Skies. And you folks should, please, you should try to train your mind to think and to go beyond your emotions and to try to think clearly in all directions. You must make some attempt to try to train your mind to go beyond your senses, go beyond your practical way of thinking about things and go into critically thinking about things. And then when you do this, keep in your mind an account a number of things that come to your mind that are no-nos, that are unnecessary, that are costly, that are terrible. And if you critically think about things, war is terrorism. It's an invasion. I mean, America's never been invaded. I got something to tell you all about. I'll mention it in this video, these 2 or 3, however many it's going to be. Excuse me. But take war. Take war for something to think about. Think about the implements that are used on all humanity in and during and around wars. Think about the different things, the chemicals, the toxins, the boom booms, the blow up, the bullets, the radiation, the frequencies. Think about this. These are acts of war. In America, these direct energy weapons, burning up people's homes, killing and displacing people, FEMA prisons, executing people, these are acts of war. You must try to think critically. I mean, this isn't good. Look, I keep telling y'all in video after video, it's the numbers. The numbers begin at 1 and the numbers dwindle or the numbers count down. But the numbers count down or they count up. You got a number too. There's a number for you. Think about the minds of the soldiers and how they are mentally programmed, especially at early ages, susceptible to drama, to screams, to hollers. They've led a sheltered life mostly, at home, quiet, school. That's about the most of it, the noisy part. School or downtown on a Saturday night or something. But their minds are programmed. They become, look at what the movies portray. They're all heroes. They're all super soldiers. They can take 5 or 6 bullets each and then just keep on killing, keep on going. And their brothers, I mean, that's the only time they ever show emotion is over each other. They got into it so young and then their minds were taken from them. It's your family that is today's numbers that have been sacrificed. And it all started with mind control. All of the good kids drug off into the military and turned into killers. Their lives, their minds, their spirits ruined. For the amusement of the elite. You say it's amusement for them. All the war is all games between them. They're play acting half the time, except people are dying. And at a time of life when their lives are just opening up to reflect their true natures, they're led in the opposite direction from enlightenment or discernment. They're led away. They're programmed. And they're programmed in a bad way. Now I come back, I want to tell you something about the North American continent, the size of it, the people, the stuff a few more things. Right back.